So, I don't know. I feel like sharing, just being completely transparent here. I've been struggling. You know, I turned 50 in June, and that proved to be a really difficult birthday. Usually, for me, birthdays, I really don't even care. I don't think about them. 30 was fine. 40 was fine. I don't know. I don't really think about them. They don't bother me. I don't have any even thoughts about them. I usually kind of forget, actually, unless I get a card from my husband or something or whomever. 50 has been tough, and probably in part due to the fact that, maybe that haven't been taking care of myself now for a while, and I feel like I've aged 10 to 20 years just in the last like 6 months to a year. And I don't know if it really is age, if it's because I haven't been taking care of myself. It's weird to me. It just seems odd. And it just literally feels like it came on overnight. I'm sure that it didn't. I think that, when you reach your 40s, for sure, every single like drop of liquor you've ever consumed, every bad food you've ever consumed, junk, sugar, everything, any kind of abuse you've ever done to your body or had done to your body, anything like that, just kind of creeps up on you. It's like it shows up, it shows itself, and that is what I think is happening to me at 50. I don't know. And maybe part of it is psychological too. Who knows? Possibly. But I'm struggling. And there's some other things that I don't really care to talk about, just because I know it would just bring way too much judgment, basically. And I'm not up for that, because I feel bad enough about things myself right now. I don't need that. But, being transparent about the way that I'm feeling about the aging process is something I wanted to do, since I do makeup videos, and, the reflection in the mirror has changed. My skin became super dry, and, some said, oh, that's menopause. Well, I'm post-menopause. I have not had my period in over a year and a half. I went through menopause early. I had hot flashes, the whole nine. Maybe my hormones are still trying to level out. Maybe it is something hormonal, probably hormonal. But my skin is just, it's really dry. It feels like there's not enough moisture in the world to just satiate or help that dryness. Large in part, it just feels extremely dry, and we're always our own worst critics. And I try to keep that in mind. I try to be gentle with myself. The world is mean enough. There's enough mean bullies out there at any age. I mean, bullying does not stop at age 10. I'm telling you, I see it all over the internet all the time. There are bullies out there at any age. And I try to be gentle and kind to myself, something that I've struggled with my entire life. With that said, I don't know, this might not even turn into a makeup video. Maybe I'm just going to sit here and chat with you guys, because I am struggling. Like, holding back the tears right now is tough, but I'm not going to cry, because that would seem silly to me when there's so many people struggling for fighting for their lives right now. But just being honest, this is something that I'm struggling with at the moment. And not only that, but just feeling a certain way about my life, maybe it's a midlife crisis. I don't know. Just struggling with the way that my life has gone in some aspects of my life, the relationships in my life. What am I doing wrong? So then, I'm trying to be, look inside and just be aware, self-aware. I've never been able to fake a facial expression. I can't sit here and be all smiley and giggly and, the things when I feel like this. So I don't know. There's just so much going on. I'm overthinking like everything. And I'm just curious for those of you who are, you know, maybe in your 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, I don't know, have you felt this way? Have you just like looked at your life and thought, like, what have I done? I retired from being a flight attendant in 2012, August of 2012. I took an early retirement that was offered. And, I loved my job. I enjoyed a lot of aspects of it, and I miss a lot about it. But it was definitely time, because I was kind of at that point where I just didn't give a darn anymore about it. I felt like I didn't have the tools to work with. I felt like the services I was able to provide were lacking, not because of me, but because of what was given to us or taken away. Mostly after 9/11, things changed drastically, from the service provided to the pay, everything, this, that, and the other thing. I miss the people I worked with, and I think I miss feeling somehow relevant in the world. Maybe that's the problem. I don't know. So I had worked at a local hospital, but for about 4 years, kind of during that time. And then we moved out here to Wisconsin Rapids, and I couldn't get a job. I looked for a job for about a year and a half, could not get a job. And I finally just gave up. And so then I thought, okay, what can I do? What can I maybe do to, not only keep myself occupied, but feel like I'm making some contribution to the world, and maybe make some money. So I stumbled upon YouTube. I think it was 3 years ago now, October of 2018, maybe. I think that's when my first video came out. And, that was an investment, financial investment, just to get started up. And as I, gained more subscribers and whatnot, I invested in a little more equipment, and I ended up having to move my studio to our lower back basement, which has no windows. And so, I struggled with lighting. So I've got, I think I've got it down. I feel like, my skin is true to color. Things are true to color, if I show something and whatnot. But that took a while. It took money. All of that said, I have enjoyed YouTube a lot. However, I've been on YouTube for 3 years now. Granted, there's been a lot of lulls there, equipment failure, tired, just didn't feel like it, or the holidays, different things, a slew of different reasons why, I was inconsistent, and that inconsistency really hurt my channel. And with that said, I've made really hardly anything, less than a couple $1,000s in the 3 years that's what I've cleared, less than a couple thousand. And so that was, it wasn't what I thought it would be. When these YouTubers say, when people do a video and say, hey, if you want to start up a channel, consider these things, consider those things. If you think you're going to come on here and just make money automatically and it's just going to be so easy, it's really not. It is a job. It is work. And the money, it comes slowly for most of us. There are some people who, just get big right away. Their channels explode and whatnot, but that's rare. That's really rare. And for most of us, it's just, you're grinding every day. You're trying to make a go of it, get noticed, get your channel noticed, this, that, and the other thing. And so, with all that said, I've hardly made any money here. And so I think that the culmination of all of these things, just not being in the job, my identity as a flight attendant for, 24, 25 years was suddenly just gone. And suddenly I went from like traveling the world and just being this social butterfly and being here and there and everywhere, and to just being home all the time. And not only was it an adjustment for my husband and I, it's just been an adjustment for me. And I don't think I even realized myself how difficult it was going to be to try to find myself again, find my identity. Like I think I just lost a big part of myself with that, and I didn't even consider that or think of that prior to retiring. Of course, I still had my job at the hospital for a few years, and that was great. But then when we moved out here, I had to leave that job. I was forced to in order to move and to relocate for my husband's job, and not being able to find a job out here and then starting on YouTube. I think that even though YouTube has been fulfilling for me in some ways, I think that lingering identity crisis is still kind of looming. And just talking about it makes me feel kind of sad, because I'm no longer, well, I'm Brenda, the flight attendant. I'm, talking about that. I sometimes I feel like I have absolutely nothing to contribute to a conversation with people. For one thing, my husband and I, we don't have children. That's kind of disappointing. Won't get into that, but we don't have children. And so, I don't have that as a conversation piece with most people. And that's what a lot of people talk about, is their children or their families. We live away from our families, a couple hours away from most of our family. It's been difficult. We've been out here in Wisconsin Rapids for about 9 years now. And, it's just been really difficult, you guys. I don't know. I feel like I'm all over the place with this, but as I'm speaking to you about it, as I'm creating this video, it's kind of making me think. I'm just kind of thinking out loud, really, trying to assess what I need to do, what has happened to me, what steps do I need to take to make the changes that are going to bring me that fulfillment again, and bring back an identity of who am I really, what am I here for, what's my purpose, how can I be useful to the world, even if it's just my family and friends, but how can I be useful to the world, really? I feel like I need to make a change somehow, a positive change somewhere. And I just don't feel like I'm doing that. I don't know, this video, I did not sit down in this video to just do all that. I actually sat down to do some makeup. I was excited because I had purchased this palette, which is new to me. I know it's been around a while, but anyway, I sat down because I wanted to just kind of create a look with this. I just thought it was so pretty. And I got that during the Sephora VIB sale recently, during the holidays, and so I really wanted to try that out, but I'm not gonna do that. I don't feel like it anymore. My mindset hasn't been right. I'm feeling negative. I have a lot of negative feelings about everything, and I'm really trying to get over that. I've been praying a lot, just doing a lot of meditation, praying and meditation, and, trying to change my thinking and praying on that a lot, because I know that the way that we think has so much to do, and the way that we speak to ourselves and we think of ourselves. And, I over the years, I've done a lot of really bad self-talk. I'm really down on myself, and I've been working to change that too. And this is a lot. Wow. There it is, my friends. That is my reality in the moment. Would love to hear from y'all down in the comments if you've experienced anything like this. What helped you? Did you leave a career that you were in that let me go back just a little bit. I was a flight attendant since barely 19 years old. And so that's what I knew. And that became kind of my identity. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That was the case. And so without that, I just feel a little lost, I think, more so than I even realized myself until more recently. And, my husband works really long hours. I'm alone a lot, and, my family doesn't care to travel much. So even though we're just a few hours away, they don't really come out much. And yeah, we have our nieces and nephew come, but they're all in school now, except for a couple of real little ones. So they aren't really able to come that much. And I love having people around. And I think that's, just saying that out loud makes me realize that, wow, that's something huge. That's a huge kind of revelation for me in this moment. Is I miss that. I miss being social, especially now with everything that's happening in the world. All of our neighbors and that, we used to all go for walks, and then I'd go for walks with my neighbors, or we'd see each other. And so that has definitely compounded this problem over the last couple of years, of just being alone, feeling really alone. Yeah. And, YouTube definitely has fulfilled some of that, but, you know, I know that I have to, this is something internal that I really have to work through, and I'm struggling to figure out how to do that. So yeah, if you all have any advice, any tips, any just want to, you know, express something you've been through recently or years ago, anything, I'd love to hear from you and, you know, hear your thoughts, and maybe we can kind of work through it together. I will be doing makeup again, though. I do enjoy makeup most of the time, and I'm just struggling a little bit right now. So, you know, I have all of our Christmas decor up. It takes me 2 weeks to decorate. I have 77 trees. I love the holidays. I love them. And this is the first year that I can ever recall not having that feeling when all of the decorations are up and everything's so pretty and cozy, and I've got candles. It's almost as if there's nothing exterior, there's nothing on the outside that can fix this anymore, which it shouldn't be that way anyway. It shouldn't look externally, but you know, I at least would find joy in those things, and I'm just finding myself not having that same joy, not finding joy in things anymore, things that I used to. And I mean, years ago, I could find joy in anything. When it has rained and there's a puddle and the sun is shining on it, or, you know, the glistening on the trees, the needles of the trees when it has rained. And I just have found joy in so many things, even the small things, and I'm just not finding that anymore. So yeah, it's a problem. It's a problem. Maybe I'm depressed. Maybe it's a midlife crisis. You could put any word on it. You can attach it to anything that you want. I don't even really need that. I don't care about titles or names, or, you know, oh, it's this or it's that. It's just how I'm feeling. That's all I know. It's how I'm feeling. And so regardless of what someone might call it, this is how I'm feeling, and I'd love to know. I'd love to know if you felt like this before and what helped you. What did you do to help yourself? There are some things I'm working on. I'm not just standing idly by hoping that the world fixes me. I am working on some things, but okay, I'm going to stop this here because I feel like when I go to watch this footage, I'm going to be really embarrassed and just be like, that's cringy. But, you know, I may just put it out there anyway. And if I do, I hope y'all will be gentle with me and kind, and just consider that we're all human, myself included. And with all that said, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye.